Don't forget to have drink in hand, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure.
Because this is going to be a good one.
It's good. Let's just get started, man. Yo, what's good? It's your boy 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. Today, I'm live with one of my subscribers, a very nice dude from the United States. And we're going to talk about Medellin and some of his journey to where he's at now. He's been living in Medellin for almost a year?
1 year now.
A year? Okay. And so we're going to talk about some of the pitfalls, some of the stuff that he learned in that first year. And he's also playing the game on hard level, on advanced, or on what they call it, Madden, all Madden?
Yes.
Because he's living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, right? So a lot of guys, they start, on collegiate level, they start in Laureles, they start in Poblado and stuff like that. But my man here started in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. So I think that's the perfect place to start, man. Tell us about why you chose 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 and how life has been living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞.
Yeah, I really love 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, the people. I think that's the real Colombia. When I used to visit El Poblado, I would get approached a lot from the propagas. I would get approached from beggars and just people in general, people trying to scam. And in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, that doesn't happen. The people are more friendly. They're more hospitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a lovely place. It's beautiful. It's more economical. So things are like probably about 35 to 60% cheaper living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 than it is living in El Poblado. El Poblado is nice, but the things in El Poblado right now, it has its problems. Every place has its pros and cons. I think that 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, I don't have any problems. There's still a large presence of police. There's no issues. Where I stay at, I have a 3-bedroom apartment. Officio that's really, really nice. $450 a month. Garage parking, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, really nice neighbors, and the people just, they take care of you.
How did you find that spot?
So I found it through a gentleman that lived in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, but he actually went back to the United States. But he recommended a gentleman that was a local, that all he does is real estate. And so not only does he just do real estate here in 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞, he also interacts with other realtors around the country. So I'm also looking at a property, on the coast, like I was telling you earlier, because like I said, everything's going up in El Poblado, but yet if I can get a place that's on the water, at a fraction of the cost of what I would pay if I was in Chicago or if I was in Miami, it's definitely a win-win situation.
Yeah. So basically, you made friends here in Colombia, and that's how you were able to meet more people, Colombians with connections that do real estate, and they helped you find your apartment, and they've also been showing you apartments around the country for you to look at for your investments. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. The thing here in Colombia, what people need to understand is that it's all about who you know down here. There are going to be a lot of trials and tribulations. They are friendly towards foreigners, but at the end of the day, it's all about who you know.
And the dollar is the almighty still, right?
Oh, it is. It is, but it can only get you so far. I think for you to really...
No, I meant that in money.
Oh yeah, the money.
Money. I shouldn't say dollar. I meant money is always...
It is always key, yeah.
People are always gonna act a certain way towards you based on how much money they might think you have.
Exactly. That's still a thing. That is still a thing in Colombia. Because you look at the Afro-Colombian community. There's not a prejudice thing here. It's just that you get looked at different as being an African American versus an Afro-Colombian.
Right. Absolutely. They definitely look at us like we have a lot more money. If they find out that you're a gringo and you're black, they pretty much bucket us with all the gringos, for the most part. I think the biggest difference is, what I've noticed is a lot of the black dudes don't do the sex crimes or like the underage women. It seems like every time I see that, it's always like a white dude or something. I haven't seen black people doing that here. And I feel like that's really good for our image as black men, but obviously it is like kind of broadly laid over all gringos that that's the thing that gringos do.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it's not a common thing for African Americans to do that, but it does happen down here. They have had several instances. I mean, they had a teacher that was from Chicago that was African American that ended up getting hemmed up. And let me tell you, the Colombians are playing with that. You can do anywhere from 20 to 40 years for, you know, that crime.
And you should do all that time.
Also, as an American, what people don't realize, just because, you know, the legal age here is 15, it doesn't matter. The legal age in the United States is 18. And so just so people need to know, it's like if the Colombian government, you know, reports that to Americans authorities or American authorities find out, you can still get prison time because you're messing with an underage person. It's just how it is.
So say that again clearly. What's the legal age here?
15. But it's
But
still
in the United States,
it's
you know, it's
18.
18. That's what we've been brought. Like, to me, I can't really mentally think a girl is attractive until she's over the age of 18. Like, if I find out a girl's under the age of 18, I just lose all my attraction towards that girl. But that's just the way I'm wired from the United States out the box. But
many of us are,
right?
Yeah,
But
many of us are, but not everybody thinks that way. I mean, like I said, I mean, for me, like I was explaining to you earlier, I mean, I have a granddaughter that's 14 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 57.
Yeah.
So I told you my cutoff is like 35. But that's just my preference.
Yeah.
Like that's the lowest that I could date.
Yeah.
But the
that
thing,
feels comfortable for you.
Exactly. And the thing is, people need to know that you can check their cedula. I mean, and get that information.
Yeah.
You know, so don't be saying like,
Assuming.
oh, I checked this and assuming. No, you got to check their information out, because you got to understand, being in Colombia, you don't have any rights once you step outside of the United States. And the most important thing to remember is that if somebody here, a woman, a child, little boy says you touched them, they're going to take their word, and you're going to get what you say examined, arrested,
Right.
till they find out what's going on. So it's like, don't even put yourself in that situation.
I already knew what you were about to say, man. Don't even do that to yourself, man. It's a lose-lose. Even having to go through that and defend yourself is not a fun thing. Even if you are found innocent, it's not fun to go through to prove your innocence.
Right. And I mean, you're not from this country. You are a guest. And even though like you and I, we have Colombian cedulas, we're not actually, you know, Colombian citizens yet. So we have to act appropriately. I mean, regardless of how anybody would think of, we're ambassadors to the United States.
Absolutely.
We get looked at. It doesn't matter your color or whatever. You get looked at as an American. When they see an American, they don't say that white American. They don't say that black American. They say that American. They don't put color into this. So when one American mess up, everybody in America is messed up. That's how they see it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Cool. So we established, man, you're in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. What's your typical day look like here in Colombia?
For me, you know, I get up early in the morning. I'll fix coffee, then I'll go work out. I'll go probably do some shopping. Go to the supermercado, or you can go buy clothes, you know, in Mercado, which is in 𝐦𝐤𝐤, which is a popular place. Or you go downtown center of 𝐦𝐤𝐤, where they have nice restaurants and bars. But most of the time, I do a lot of working out, or I'll go hiking, fishing, same things that I was doing in the United States. I have a music studio here, so I work on my music as well.
Nice.
And eventually I'm going to start a podcast. But I mean, I'm thankful for your channel, because, you know, when we interviewed over a year ago, and I know you couldn't believe it was that long ago, but it's like I learned so much from you. And the most important thing that Kari put out that I will tell anybody is to understand the culture, learn Spanish. How is your Spanish? Because I'm telling you, it will save you a headache. I think us as Americans, we like, because we're so used to getting our way and making things happen, you know, quickly. And if you really put the time in, Colombia is the best place to live. I mean, you can go anywhere in Colombia and the people are very hospitable. I couldn't even say it, but the people here are very, very good. I have not met any bad people here. And a lot of times I think when people get in trouble, they go looking for it because they put themselves in that situation. I mean, I don't go out late at night. And if I do go out, I go out with friends. I'm among friends. I don't go hanging out in bars. And if I want to drink, I drink at home. I don't have random people just coming to my house. Also, if you're worried about people getting into your bank accounts and stuff like that, you need to turn off all that facial, anything that's biometrics. You need to do everything where maybe you have to put in a code. But I would say I would have one bank that I would deal with, and then delete all the apps for that until you get back to your destination. Or you know, if you live here, get another phone and you do that. Like me, I have 2 phones.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. So you're saying when you come out here, remove off all the bank apps off your phone so that people can't do those scams where they want to take you to all the banks and empty out all your accounts. That's a good idea. I guess they could download it and try but they probably wouldn't suspect you have the account if the app wasn't there. So I think, you know, that strategy could work, you know, for some people.
Well, it does, because the thing is, it's only going to work if they go and look for it.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, there's hundreds and hundreds of banks.
Right. What bank?
So what bank is
TD
that?
Bank or Navy Federal. You never know where your accounts are at.
Yeah, and I carry a credit card. I don't carry a debit card. And I know people are probably going to disagree with this. I don't use my debit card here because, for the simple fact, I use a debit card at my bank because I do have Banco Colombia.
Yeah.
But I use that there. But far as any other thing, if I need to really get some cash, I use my credit card. Yeah, I'm paying a fee, but I'm protected.
Yeah.
I'm not protected with a debit card.
Right. When you lose the debit card money, you got to fight with the bank to get it back. So the credit card, they give you your money back, and then you deal with the rest later.
And turn your Bluetooth off, because people can walk behind you with little scanners and get the information off your phone.
Yeah.
Well, perfect example of that, right? It's just like, you know, if I want to give somebody my information, I don't even use my phone to give it to them, because it's too much. To me, I think it's too much of a problem. So what I do is I have the information I want to share on this little doc card. It costs you like $21. Okay, you get this doc card, you give your information that way. You don't even have to worry about nobody even messing with your phone, man.
Wow.
It's like I could tap your phone if you have, but if you have your Bluetooth off, I can't.
That gives your
all your social media if you want it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it just depends. So that's how I protect myself. The thing is, I don't carry a lot of cash. The most I carry in cash is maybe 500,000 pesos.
Right, $100.
I don't
$120.
carry more than what I'm willing to lose. I don't wear what I'm not willing to lose.
Right.
And stuff. It's just like if you get a cedula, I'm not really worried about that. You know,
And some stuff is low key than other, like sunglasses, for example, are much more low key than jewelry.
Yes.
You can wear an expensive pair of sunglasses and nobody really know. Unlike a watch or a necklace, once you put something expensive on your neck or on your wrist, it calls a lot of attention. But people buy a lot of fake sunglasses, so nobody really looks at sunglasses that closely.
Same with the Apple Watch. I mean, there's so many fake Apple Watches that I said, okay, I'm okay wearing that. Nobody looks at the watch.
Yeah.
You know, nobody looks at the glasses.
And that's below $1,000.
Oh yeah. Easy.
You know what I mean? We're not. I mean, there's some guy that got robbed for like $50,000 worth of jewelry a couple weeks ago in Poblado. So I mean, wearing the big diamond chain, that's just not a good idea out here. I think a lot of you guys know that, but it's good to see someone that has come out here and has zero problems, because what I'm seeing is problems left and right. And I just want him to be kind of a testimony that you can come out here and be sensible,
have fun and have a good life.
Yeah, be sensible, be respectful, and you won't get taken advantage of. You know what I mean? The Colombian people are not always out to get people, but if you make yourself a target, in Colombian terms it's called dar papaya. If you do that, they will take advantage of you. So definitely everybody in the comments comment no dar papaya. All right. So I got some more questions for you. What would be your advice for people budgeting wise if they're looking at Colombia? I heard you mention a little bit about you've been vetting the coast as a possible place for investment. And we also know that Medellin has become super expensive over the last 5 years. So taking all that into account, give us your opinion on the real estate market here in Colombia as a whole, including Medellin and everywhere else you've been looking, and And how can people take their retirement, like how you have and everything, and make that last a long time in Colombia?
Well, I would definitely say starting off when you retire, you probably want to be as debt free as possible when you come to Colombia. I utilize the United States more as a business. I still own a home there, but I have so much equity in my home that I have the flexibility to buy another property here if I want to, clear and free, and don't have to worry about it. And still, my mortgage might go up maybe $200 in the United States. So you got to use leverage. But I think if you really want to live, see, even if you don't have that, in the Medellin area, I would say if you want to live like really good, I would say $2,500 a month is really good for El Poblado. If you can live in El Poblado, you can live anywhere around in the 𝐥𝐤𝐬 Valley.
Abora.
Yeah, 𝐥𝐤𝐬 Valley. And I'm still learning Spanish, so y'all got to work with me here. But the thing is that you won't have any problems living here. Things are really, really cheap. And
So you said 2,500.
2,500, you can live really good here. I would say 1,900 minimum. 1,900 minimum. Most people can, as Americans, can accommodate that.
That's like free for America. Like America, if you're born in America, you basically gonna have $2,000 coming in somehow.
Right.
Unless you just lazy as fuck.
Yeah. So when we talk about Medellin, back in 2020, I was still working. I was still working for the Department of Defense. And so my situation was different. I couldn't buy anything because of the type of job that I had.
Right. They limited things that you can do.
I couldn't do anything. But now that I'm not working for the government anymore, I can have a foreign banking account. I can have foreign property. That means I'm not going to be easily influenced. Now, unfortunately, because people, and everybody thinks it's America's kind of stuff. We as foreigners only make up 1% of Medellin, and actually Colombia as a whole, as in real estate, only 1%. And the rest, what's happened is because all these Americans have influxed to Medellin, so you had Colombians coming from all over, coming to Medellin, opening up businesses. That's what you see going on. So it was people like,
people are migrating from other parts of Colombia to Medellin to support and participate in the growing economy.
Oh, exactly. And now, since land, I will give you a perfect example. So if you get 1,000 square meters, that's roughly almost like a little over half an acre.
Okay.
So we're talking about 600,000 pesos. 600 million pesos.
Okay.
That's
about $150,000.
That's about $150,000. Almost more than most places in the United States. But that's because the land, and it's like, and most Americans want flat. So, but most Americans are buying the Poblado area where it's more
hilly
level, like Bello, Laureles.
That's the flat area.
Yeah, the flat
Poblado area is gonna, most of the flat part of Poblado is very little. It's like Ciudad del Rio.
Yes, and it's very expensive.
Manila is kind of flat, but the rest of Poblado is on the hill.
And it is very expensive. Yeah. So I took that into account. So I started looking at places where they had the least amount of migration of foreigners or extranjeros, and I have found some really great deals, especially on the coastal deals. The house that I showed you, which I think you approve, was really nice.
You can send me that. I like to put the pictures on the video.
I will, and I will tell you, it's like that house alone is like probably 3 to 4 times more money here than it is on the coast.
Absolutely, yeah, that wouldn't exist.
You're seeing the sea.
Yeah, it wouldn't exist for less than probably like
3 million in Miami.
Yeah,
minimum.
Here I would say in Medellin at least like 750,000.
Yeah, 700.
It's a big 2-story house with an entry, with a garage, a gate, and all that. So yeah, you can't find that in Medellin in the city for less than, I would say, $750,000.
The one house that I'm gonna send to you, which is 800, it's a huge house. It's probably about 4,000 square feet in living space. Okay, in Miami that would be a $10 million house. Here, that's only like $800,000. And it has all the lavish material.
And this one's on the coast too.
And this is on the coast. Yeah.
The coast pricing is crazy. You guys are always looking at Medellin and even Bogota. If you start looking at the properties on the coast, and then Cali too.
Cali, Santa Marta, San Andreas is a little bit expensive, but still not as
small.
expensive,
It's tiny.
but it's small.
It's
but,
yeah. That
and
makes
then
sense.
you know Barranquilla. I mean, you can't go wrong. And then they have other coastal cities along that as well. So it's like, I think if people start looking there, they would start getting more bang for their buck. And it's just like, even the place that I'm looking at, it's like, I mean, it has a full terrace. Like, I could throw parties there, literally look like something in Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful. And I mean, I'm only paying like $234,000 for it.
Incredible.
It's like, so Medellin is beautiful. I'll probably keep my apartment here because I like Medellin.
Yeah.
But just to have that beachfront property, I think that's a bigger win.
Now, a lot of guys are gonna say, that's cool and all. I know it's cheaper on the coast, but it's hot as hell. And Medellin has the most beautiful climate you've ever experienced in your life. So I'm willing to pay the premium to be in Medellin. What do you say to that?
I say to each his own. I said it's just like if you were living in Florida or if you were living in Texas where it gets hot. I mean, you have air conditioning. The house that I'm looking at, the whole house has air conditioning.
Right.
So I mean, it still has those amenities. I mean, I don't really go out until later in the evening anyway. I'm not out during the most heated times.
Right.
And so Medellin can get hot, but not as hot as the coast, of course. Of course, being I would say Cartagena being the hottest.
Oh my God.
Definitely. But anything that's closer to the equator is going to be hot.
Right. Absolutely. So that's a good point. It's up to you guys to make that decision for yourself, and definitely fight it out in the comments below. Let us know, do you prefer to pay a little bit more to be in Medellin, or would you rather get a heavy discount and be in a hotter place like Santa Marta or Barranquilla? And I gotta say, I think Barranquilla and Santa Marta are a little bit cooler than Cartagena. I think Cartagena is the most humid and the most hot place that I've ever been in Colombia. So it's something to consider for you guys that don't want to drop that large amount of money into real estate in Medellin. There's other places in Colombia where you get almost every single other benefit of Medellin, but for a much lower price.
And they have very beautiful women in Barranquilla as well.
Oh yeah, man. There's some of the baddest out there, man. Barranquilla, man. That's a special place.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, man.
It opened my eyes. That's what I say.
And they be coming out here too, man. I'll be like, oh yeah, you are from the coast. When they tell me I'm from Barranquilla, I'll be like, yeah, you're special. You're real special. It's because when they're all surrounded by Pisces, they stand out more. But cool. So let's get into some more questions. As you know, a lot of guys come down here for the dating aspect of Colombia, right? Tell us, how has your experience been dating the local Colombian women? Have you had success dating the local Colombian women? And kind of you should probably start with like, what do you look for? Because I think if someone's looking for a relationship versus somebody looking to have fun, it's important to know that in the beginning when we're analyzing like how the experience has gone. So take it away.
So I'll start with the guys that just want to come down here and have fun. I would say that leave it at that, strictly that. Don't sit up there and take anything serious. I would say don't take any chances. Don't be going the extra mile or anything like that.
Like buying gifts.
Just buying gifts.
Paying for groceries.
Yeah, paying for their groceries, paying
rescuing
bills.
Her mom from being from getting the surgery that her mom has been needing.
Yeah, everybody. I can tell you, I've experienced that my first time coming down to Colombia, where I meet a girl, but I have not ever met someone here and made them my girlfriend or partner over the weekend. And I'm just telling you, this is what I hear from the Colombian women, is that a lot of guys, I can't speak on anybody else, this is only strictly for the Americans, and it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, they come down here, they get starstruck, and they say, oh, I'm gonna put the girl on retainer. I'm like, the mere fact that the girl is willing to take your money is a bad sign.
Yeah.
It's because it's like, they're not going to respect you. If she takes your money, you're not the only one that she's taking money from.
Right.
And so just like I will, tell you, it's just like keep that strictly business. It's like you don't let them stay the night. You know, if you're gonna go out there and do the pay for play, my recommendation is to go. They have hotels here for that. Never take the girl back to your to place where your personal effects are, where your passport is. They have actual hotels here with security, okay? Or you can go to a strip club. They got rooms there. You're not going to have any problems. Or you go to a brothel. I mean, I don't do any of that because there's no need for it. I started learning Spanish. And so it's a lot easier. There are more women here willing to talk to you as a foreigner because literally, some of them tell me I'm tired of Colombian men because of the machismo way. So they just want something different. But you can't sit up there and just start giving them money because they're not going to respect you if you give them money. I mean, think about it. They didn't do anything to earn it.
Right. So you kind of setting them up for to spoil them. You ever met like a spoiled ass little kid?
No, all the time. And you know what? I filter through them really quick. It's like when they start talking about money, I just automatically put them aside. Now, what I look for in women, I look for more the professionalism. So you guys come down here, you have jobs. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have a job. Let's be honest. So why would you come down here messing with women that don't have jobs? Okay. You got to look at it like this from where you were raised or where your grandmother, your mother, or some mother or father figure explained to you that you got to look at the woman. Does she get along with her mother? Does she get along with her father? I mean, does she have a job? 'Cause I can tell you right now, the women down here who are professional, they don't ask you for anything. Actually, they take pretty good care of you. They're very nurturing. They're very, very nurturing women. They don't have any expectation. If you meet a girl and she doesn't have a job, I can tell you right now, you're going to have problems. I have not met one girl here who didn't have a job and didn't cause problems because they don't know anything else. Most of these women that don't have jobs are in survival mode.
Yeah. It's a great point. That's a great point. And I think I tell people that all the time, but I still see guys getting into the same situation and like I'm trying to figure it out as to why. And it's like, I guess guys are like, well, it's an extra step to go get that motel. It's an extra step to learn Spanish. And, I have to spend time. And, is it just that guys are not willing to put in the work to do it the right way? And so when you take shortcuts, you end up with these types of things happening, like people being killed by scopolamine and people being robbed and things like that.
Well, let's just look at it from this perspective. If you're willing to put your life on the line for someone you've never met, and that means that you're willing to throw away everything that you worked hard for. And these are successful men that are doing this. These are not like, I'm not going to say passport cookies as everybody calls them. I mean, these are just men thinking like they're looking for love, but they're doing it the wrong way. I mean, nobody follows the hints of social media, the State Department, where it says don't use apps. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little hint and a quick secret. If you're gonna use the app, I would not use it to hook up. What I would use the app for is more of an intelligence standpoint. I would use it to the point where if I'm talking to a woman, I'm gonna make sure she's not on the app. See, I'm gonna go check out and find out who she is. Most of the women here, the good women, I would say, if they really like you, you're gonna get introduced to their family immediately.
Right.
Okay. If you guys are coming down here and you're not getting introduced to family, I mean, that's a bad sign. You can't take that serious.
Yeah. Fact.
Okay? You gotta, it's like, if they did not have a good mother or father growing up, I'm telling you, they're not going to know how to act. Perfect example, I remember my dad, I witnessed this with my dad and my sister. I remember she was only like 13 years old, but she wanted to go out of the house and she wasn't dressed appropriately. My dad was like, oh no, you're not going out of the house like that. If a girl or young lady didn't have a father figure to stop her, to tell her, hey, this is inappropriate, they're not going to know how to act when they meet somebody else that's going to care for them, because they never been told that, because they didn't have that fatherly love. The whole thing is about here in Colombia, they're looking for leaders, not for people. You guys come down here, I hate to say it, you guys come down here, and I don't even want to use the word simp, because I think everybody uses it. You guys come down here and you become gullible. You become like your power, you guys are empowered, telling people what to do, in charge of people. Then you come down here and let a woman control you, and she doesn't even have a 6th grade education.
Wow, the juxtaposition from like you're this big boss man in the United States, you got the big car, the big Beamer, the big apartment, whatever. You come down here and a little tiny girl can bamboozle you using just a few tricks and your natural instinct
Right.
to take all your money and kill you.
Right. And so you got to understand, you have to understand Medellin, you have to understand other parts of Colombia. So if you go to Barranquilla, the women there are not going to call you a Moor. Everybody gets called a Moor here, and you know,
A Moor.
there, you know, it's a Moor. That's
Moor.
doesn't mean that she likes you. That's just their custom. They call strangers that a Moor. It's like people think, oh, she's this, she's that.
Yeah.
The whole thing is that if the woman doesn't have anything to lose, she doesn't have a job, or she has too much time to spend with you. If she has too much time to spend with you, that's a bad sign. Because the way it works here in Colombia, they normally work anywhere from 8 to 10 hour days, if not more. They don't
She's
have time
pretty much
for you.
done giving up on building anything on her own, and she's just gonna let you handle that. That's what happens if they got all that type of time. Like, some women have businesses and they have more free time than others. Like, I dated a woman that owned her own business, and she was relatively free a lot. But
Yeah, people working for her, too.
Exactly. She had, I mean, the whole place was full. She employed like 20, 30
Oh
people.
yeah, she can do that.
So, you know, that's one thing. But we're talking women that have a bunch of free time and ask you for money for anything they need, right? Like this girl that I was dating, she would never ask me for nothing on the daily. You know what I mean? The only time I'm paying for her is if we go out to dinner and if we go on a trip or something, right? Otherwise, I'm not paying for her apartment. I'm not paying for her makeup. I'm not paying for her hair. None of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Like the one girl I was dating, I mean, she had her own travel business. I mean, it shocked me because when we went on the first date, she took me out. She actually took me. She said, I know it's not what you're used to.
Wow.
And I had to stop her because I was like, babe, I don't care. It was a little street place
Wow.
where they have food. That's how simple this is. It was a little street place that she took me to that was really good food. Enjoyed it. Was out there with other Colombians. I can tell you that's far few in between, but there are a lot of women out here like that. But you got to look for the ones that got jobs. Because you know what? I have no problem with being with her because she has the stuff together. She didn't, and like I said, she only had time for me on the weekends. Okay, but the thing is, I had time to do what I wanted to do, but she wasn't saying, oh, I need money for this. Okay, you give me money for that. It's like also the people in her family. Gotta talk about that. Her sister's a teacher. Her other sister's a nurse. I mean, her brother, you know, he's
from
a lawyer.
a good family.
So it's like, and she has her own business. So you gotta look at the family dynamics. That's important. I mean, guys, don't just come down here looking at, you know, a pretty face, big butt, and a smile like Bello
Absolutely.
DeVoe. I mean, because I'm telling you, everybody a smile. 'Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. These girls that take money from you, I guarantee you, you're not the only one. I didn't seen it. I didn't witnessed it. I mean, literally, it's like when you guys get back on the plane, we call them cycle hoes back when we were in, we recycle hoes when I was stationed in
Recycle hoe,
Germany.
yeah.
It's like, because it's like as soon as a new bunch get off the plane, then a new bunch get back on, there's another bunch coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
You girls are cycling through all these dudes,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like, you don't know where she's
It's new to you.
Yeah.
It's new to you, but it's not new.
So don't take these girls serious.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like long-term relationship.
Yeah.
If you're gonna start a relationship with a girl, I would say you gotta come down here at least once a month, at least for a week.
Uh-huh.
And she has to be a professional. I don't even really like to even do the long distance because, like I said, Colombia is the third largest, I want to say, adultery and just like
Okay.
all kind of
Like cheating.
cheating. Yeah,
cheating.
They cheat. They cheat like it's no tomorrow. Like I said, literally, I've had where I moved here to Colombia. They found out that I'm here, and they still have a boyfriend, but yeah, she's trying to get with me. I've had 3 of my exes try to do that. And I said that made me think like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not doing that ever again. And
Yeah.
it's nothing bad about that. It's just you gotta understand there's a lot of beautiful people here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of in shape guys here. Where, you know, us as Americans, you know, a lot of us don't come here in shape. So it's like they come here and they use us more as a tool. Remember, they're in survival mode.
Yes.
So the thing is, you have to stay away from those type of women and only look for the women that have jobs. If you guys want to meet good women, here's my tip. It's like, don't use that. It's like, learn a little bit of Spanish, learn some basic Spanish, like, you know, asking them out, asking them if they want to have coffee. Most of them are going to say yes, okay? But if those type of women you're going to meet them on their job, okay? Meet them on hiking, meet them on tours, meet them at the museum, meet them at the gym,
Yep.
okay? There are so many cool places where you can meet women here. But the thing is you can't go looking for the women that migrate towards the foreigners in one specific area.
Yeah.
That's what these guys are getting. You're not getting the best women of Colombia. You're getting the, you know, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say it like this. Colombian women aren't getting the best Americans either. I mean, it's just true. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You guys have education. You guys are, you know, strong men. Don't come down here and get starstruck. I mean, because starstruck will get you killed.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think for most women, they're ending up with some of the worst American guys, like for them, and just the worst simps ever. So we were just talking about the females and everything. I'm always amazed, and I'm trying to like make sense of it, and I want to get your opinion on why so many guys want to get out of the U.S. What's so bad about dating in the U.S. that makes so many guys want to take that risk to find love abroad?
I think my situation is different. I wanted to leave the United States. Wasn't so much as just because of the women. There were several reasons why I wanted to leave the United States.
Okay.
And this stems from my 38 years of dealing with the military and living in other countries. I left specifically because I just saw a bigger world and better world and got treated different, saw how the women treated us different than American women.
Okay.
So that's what I looked at. It had nothing to really do with just the women. Also, you don't get harassed by the police like you would in the United States.
Right.
I mean, nobody messes with you here. They don't care about your color or anything.
There's a lot
like
less
that.
friction in that interaction between police.
Exactly. And I get it why a lot of guys want to leave, but also I'm looking at it from a financial standpoint and what I've built over the years. It's like the United States is not set up for a long-term relationship in my eyes. Because the reason why I say this is because it's a business. Divorce is a business, child support is a business, and it's a
Marriage is a contract.
It's a contract. It is a $1 billion business. I mean, you got to look at it from this standpoint, right? Let's bring this into perspective, okay? Child support isn't even that old, man. It didn't even get established until like 1975.
Wow. Okay. So we're only 50 years in.
Exactly. And so when you're here in Colombia, it's like if you got a Colombian woman pregnant and you decided to stay here, it's so easy for you to stay here. You're not going to go through. They waive a lot of stuff because you know why? They want you to take care of the kid.
Yeah.
But they're all about family. So you have more rights here as a father. So you're going to be able to see your child. You're going to be able to spend time with your child, and it's going to be at a fraction of the price.
Wow.
You know,
right?
It's like this. I was paying for both my kids because you got to think of Germany. They're German American. I was paying $12.50 per kid. Basically.
Oh, so you had kids in Germany, and you had to pay child support in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany. And you know, I was in the military, so you know they
$1,200?
$12.50 per kid.
Oh my God!
So they took that out my paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, you can give a girl here $250 a month for the kid, and that kid's living like
crazy. He's got the new Xbox. He's the kid on the block with all the new stuff
and everything. And it's nothing against the Colombian men. It's just that they don't have laws in place.
They'll have like the grandmother helping them out. They'll have like they're not going to a $20,000 summer camp. You know, they're playing soccer with their cousins and
they're not asking the dad for money.
Right.
Like the mothers here will be like, oh, you don't want to help me? Fine, then my family will help raise the kid.
Right, we're gonna figure it out.
So it's kind of more in the 60s here when it comes to that perspective. But the thing is, the kids here are beautiful. They're respectful. They're nice, and they are in the United States too. But I think in the United States, it's like there are so many rules to keep you from your kid, or you got to have the visitation only on these certain days. Whereas here in Colombia, if you go tell the mother, I don't care if y'all had a drown out fight, she's not going to keep the kid from you.
Yeah,
that's what I like about them.
Yeah.
They're not going to use the kid as a crutch to what you say, manipulate you or extort you.
Wow,
it's like that's how they are here. So and it's just the easier way to take care of your kids, love your kids, and then on top of it, that kid, you got a kid with a Colombian, and that kid has now that kid gets American citizenship and Colombian citizenship.
Right.
You know, right off the bat, you
ain't gonna speak English and Spanish.
Yeah, you getting your kids set up for success
for a global world,
right? And I think the reason why
I would say a kid born like that is almost has a advantage of a kid born only in the United States.
True.
By people who never leave the United States or whatever, because you're when you're born like that in the United States and you have no exposure to the outside world, there's a big chance that you live the rest of your life like that with no exposure to the outside world.
Right. And I mean, the people here are just, I think, more friendlier. And it's definitely a family-oriented country. I mean, it's all about the family here. And one of the things that I love about Colombians, they're not as combative. If you meet a woman here in Colombia and she's combative, that's already a red flag. You shouldn't be messing with her. Most of the women, a lot of women, I'm not going to say all the women, but I've met a lot of women from my experience that were combative, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to deal with it. It's just like they felt like, oh, I make just as much money as you, so I don't have to listen to you. And here's the sad part. It even started with my sister, man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's a black woman, she's like, I don't have to listen to you. I make just as much money as you. I mean, and I'm older than her. This is my sister. Yeah. This is the mentality. And she grew up with a good mom and a good father. Mm-hmm. Okay?
But all the American influence influenced her to the point where it's
right.
Like
friends,
like men and women are just equals, and there's no difference in her eyes, maybe. Right. But I think to me, there's a big difference between men and women. And a woman doesn't have to listen to her brother that's older, but a good woman in my eyes would. Right. A good woman in my eyes would listen to her older brother with a level of respect of hey, that's my older brother, and he's looking out for me in ways that I can't look out for myself.
Well, let me tell you some history behind that. She didn't listen to, it's awkward, man. And like I said, when you feel it from your own sister and then you feel it from other women, it was all because I dated a white woman.
Oh wow, that shit! It just
but
got
here's
deep.
The funny part: he was in college dating white guys.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, that's the thing. When I say black women are just like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm not. That's the reason why I'm saying that's my experience. Everybody else didn't experience.
It's kind of a mixed bag and I talked to a lot of different black dudes, and it's a mixed bag with the experiences that men are having with our own black women in America. I wish it was better. I do. I wish it was better.
I mean,
I love black women.
I love them to death.
And I love Colombian women as well. I love white girls every once in a while. Okay, hey, kill me. Why don't you? But what I'm saying is, at the top of the tier though, is black women are just, they're special for where they come from and everything. But in America, it seems like it's just a little bit harder to find peace with them and to live, especially when you bring into account those other things like the way the laws are set up in America and the history that we have in America. It's just a lot of things that are very complicated that contribute to the relations between men and women, black men and women, especially in the United States, not being that great. And it just is what it is. But I'm glad we were able to talk to that.
I mean, and like I said, it's nothing against black women. I'm only giving my experience. But I mean, I was just saying, it hit me at home because I was used to other black women doing that. But then when my sister did it to me, that's kind of where it made me feel, uncomfortable. Like, wow. But we still get along. We talk and everything like that. I love my sister. I mean, I love black women.
And let's be clear, there's a lot of good black women. It's just there's a lot of bad too.
But I think
there's a lot, and there's a lot of horrible white women as well. Look at this. Look at Shannon Sharp, man. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to say anything else? Like white women, but you should know with white women. At least when we mess with our own women, we expect like that we kind of end this thing together as long as the black part of it, right? Like
yeah, but look at speaking on Shannon Sharp. Here's a man that's a high value man. Okay,
absolutely.
You're messing with somebody. It doesn't even matter whether she was white or black.
Absolutely.
It was the fact that goes back to what I was saying earlier. This woman didn't have anything.
Right.
She didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You didn't. So what do you expect? If you mess with shit or people that don't have shit, you're gonna get shit. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, I hate to just put it in that way. The thing is, poor people complain about money, rich people don't.
Right.
And when poor people complain about money, they become thirsty. They're in survival mode.
Yeah.
And us as people of means, we tend to take things into perspective like, okay, we have a heart, because that's kind of the American way. We want to give things, but we don't want to give too much. But sometimes giving even a little is being easily taken advantage of.
Right.
And so you don't want to do that down here. You definitely don't want to do that in the United States. I'm not saying that if you're in a relationship with that woman and you guys are like constantly seeing each other, if you help each other, that's perfectly fine. But I mean, if you just meet somebody over the weekend and you coming for a weekend trip or you coming for a week, you can't make that person your girlfriend over that time and think that that's. I'm like, what is the rush? There's no freaking rush. It's like, take your time. Just like the song used to say, take your time, young man.
Yeah.
My mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. I mean, it's just like, you have to take time to be yourself. I say, I chase my purpose.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not down here trying to get things. I'm down here trying to build my wealth. That's why I'm trying to buy another property.
Yeah.
I'm utilizing what I have in the United States to do that, the tool. And I want to get my podcast off. I want to get my music started. That's what I'm chasing.
Yeah.
I want to support brothers like you that give information out. I mean, there's a lot of people that put information out there and they BS tell you guys what they want. Here, they just show y'all the good side. There's more to it. When something is too easy, there's a problem. Just remember, there's going to be consequences.
Right. Absolutely, man. If you get something too easy, man, it's not. There's something wrong with it. I feel it. Like, I have that meter in my head where it's like, nah, this don't feel right. There's something wrong with this. But man, I'm glad that you're able to share all these lessons with the people. And like, I know there's a lot of brothers right now in the United States watching this that are trying to do something like what you did. So, you know, we're talking escape the matrix, I like to call it, the rat race, whatever your name for it is. So what was it for you that attracted you to Colombia out of all the rest of the places that you could have went in the world to for your second home?
I will say I've been to, countries I can't even say, but I would say I've probably been to like 36 different countries. And out of all those 36 countries, I would say I felt more at home with Colombia and the hospitality, the way the people treat you, the acceptance. That's the biggest thing, the acceptance. The fact that even though when I started learning Spanish, I was struggling, versus anywhere else I go, it's like even when I was, stationed in Germany, Italy, Hungary, even when I, had to go to Russia, that was back in the 90s. That's a whole nother deal. That was a whole different picture. It's just that you get looked at totally different. The people here look at you as a human being. I mean, though you have to understand the Colombian culture. It's all about family and friends. And once you have a Colombian as your friend, they're actually your friend for life. There is no such thing to me as the fakeness. Like you have fakeness in the middle, and then you have that person that is loyal. It's either one or the other. They're either loyal or they're fake, or they fake.
I got you. Hey, I gotta agree with that. I think the culture here and just the way people are really attracted me to Colombia. And
food is healthier.
The food is excellent here. The lifestyle, the proximity to the United States.
3 hours. 2 hours. In 2 hours, if I get this house in Barranquilla.
And so, you get a lot of guys that. Excuse me. You got a lot of guys nowadays that are going to Asia and Brazil, even, which you're looking from 3 hours to about 6 to 8 hour trip or more, depending on where you're coming from.
8 hours to Brazil and about 16 hours to Thailand.
Right. So, in your eyes, being that Colombia is so close, you think that Colombia will continue to be like the top destination into the next 10, 20 years for people looking to start a life outside of United States, whether that's retirement or being a digital nomad or whatever?
I would say at least for the next 7 years. And the reason why I say 7 years and not so much as a long term, Medellin's economy has already surpassed that of Bogota.
Wow.
It's coming one of the #1 destination in South America. And with that comes more investors, more people. I think 3 years ago it was under 1 million. Then 2 years ago it was 1.2 million. This year, not this year, but last year it was over 2 million.
Medellin, the whole valley is like bigger than Houston.
Yes.
It's bigger than Houston, Texas, guys. All of the whole valley of Medellin.
Give you some perspective. Colombia is 3 times the size of Germany. Germany has 82 million. Germany has 82 million people. Colombia has 54 million. They have more land mass here, but yet land is more expensive here than it is in Germany.
Really?
Yes.
Land is more expensive here than Germany.
Yes.
Wow. Why isn't people moving to Germany to buy land?
That 8 to 10 hour flight, but don't get me wrong, they have a lot of amenities there. I mean, my kids are half German, half American.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got one son is a doctor, the other son, I mean, he's still trying to find himself. But at the end of the day, it's just like there's so much to do in Europe. But once you're in Europe, that's the thing. Once you're in Europe, like say in Germany, it might only cost you $50 to $100 to travel to any of the European countries.
Right.
Because once you go into that country, it's like you don't need all that. You don't get a stamp for each country.
Right. You're in the union.
You're in the union.
Yeah. No, that's one advantage to Europe. And us in the United States, we have the similar thing, because sometimes I think of the United States as a Europe, and because California and New York are so much different. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost a similar thing. We could go from anywhere in the United States for about $200 or less usually,
Right.
Unless you're talking somewhere very remote like Alaska or Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah, if you look at our most expensive areas, everybody thinks Florida, they think Miami is the most expensive, but actually it's not. Actually,
Not
the
even
most
close.
expensive part of Florida is Key West.
Yeah, it's very limited,
Very
small.
limited space. I mean, there was a piece of crap house. It couldn't have been no more than 800 square feet. But yet they wanted $1.1 million for this house
In Key West.
in Key West. Where you can get a house for $1 million up in Miami, and it's got a pool and everything else is it's like it just depends. And then if you start talking about Silicon Valley, I mean it's expensive. I mean there's a lot of expensive places. Even where I'm from, in Ohio, I mean my house is worth almost $800,000. But when I bought the house, it was $266 dollars, and it took forever for that house to get up to that point. From like 2011,
20 years.
From 2011 up until 2025.
Okay.
But yet that same growth happening here in Medellin, they're growing at like in the United States, it's like 1 to 2%. Here, it's like 15%.
They had a 10% year like 2 years ago. With my rent, they were allowed to raise it over 10. I think it was like 12 or 15%.
15% now.
It was like 12, 15% that they were actually allowed to legally raise my rent based on that's based on like their index of cost of living.
Depends on which city you're living in.
Yeah, it's a cost of living index here, but in the last few years, we've seen years where it went up 10% in 1 year or 15% in 1 year.
But this is still cheaper than Dayton, Ohio.
It is. But what's the future look like? Do you think we'll see a day where Medellin is expensive as Miami or LA? Could it be possible?
It won't get like that. No, I mean you got to figure. You got $30-40 million homes in Miami. I think the most you might see a house get up to here.
Maybe like 5 million, 10 million.
Yeah, we're already at the million now.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be maybe 15 years from now. Not as quick. It's growing, but not as quick. What you also have to understand is that there are not a lot of people in the United States buying $1 million home. It's only in specific areas. So most people aren't going to come to Colombia right away and just pay $1 million. Why? Because their currency is unstable. Their government is unstable.
Flippy floppy.
And I'm going to put it in more perspective like this, right? So we have eminent domain in the United States. Okay. So this is why I wouldn't spend $1 million in Colombia. Actually, why I wouldn't spend over $400,000 in Colombia. Because in America, let's say the government wants to take my property. They can, but here's the thing: there's eminent domain. But they're going to give me, but they're going to give me fair market value. Here in Colombia, they don't do that. So for all you guys coming here buying all this expensive property that's over a certain amount, you might want to rethink that, because they can take your land. And people say they can't, but it's like that's what people were worried about with this President Petro, because they thought that their land was going to get taken and stuff like that.
Some form of that has happened in Cuba and Venezuela as well. So Colombia is in the mix. It's close to Venezuela. It's in the Spanish diaspora, I would call it. So there's always a chance that they flop back to like a communist or socialist, and they start taking and nationalizing people's property, especially the foreigners and the business owners. So I mean, that's a big concern. But you told me something else earlier too that I want to touch on, and I want you to speak on, which is why you wouldn't spend over, I believe it was like $250,000 on an apartment / house, a dwelling here in Medellin or anywhere in Colombia. And it was kind of tied to what people are able to afford.
So you have to look at it like this, right? There's only we only make up 1% of the real estate in all of Colombia.
Americans, foreigners.
Foreigners total. We make up 1%. So the rest of that is mostly Colombians that are flocking. Like I said, most of the people that are
buying and selling
have came here from other parts because they saw the business opportunity, because this is where the influx of foreigners are coming. So they're taking a chance. So it's just like you have businesses here that are making $15,000, in a month. All right. In the United States, that's nothing in Miami.
Right, because your rent is going to be $10,000.
They make that in like a day.
Yeah.
In Miami, in Chicago, there's places that make it like
a nail salon or something, right? Or like a corner store.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are making money.
Like a QT corner store, the QT or the Quick Trip. One of those is making so much money in a day. You guys don't know. I worked at Buc-ee's when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
When I was in college, I built the Buc-ee's. I was part of the team that built the Buc-ee, the inside of it in Waller County on 290 when you go into Prairie View. And man, when it's a weekend and they open, like they never close, but when people start coming in those doors, bro, on a Saturday, on a holiday weekend, on a Thanksgiving, they got 120 gas pumps and they're all full.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! I mean, they could make $1 million every hour at a business like that, right?
Right, exactly. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have a business here. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about property, but you got to think long term, and that you don't have a lot of rights. Then because you got to think about so much other things. Just like even when I buy my house, right? That house is not just going in my name. That house is going in my brother's name as well, because he's 8 years younger than me. So if something happens, at least that house can pass down, and I have to have what you say instruments in place. You have to get the Colombian version of the trust, all those things. The will, you have to do all those things just like you would in the United States. But like I said, the most important thing is the fact that they can just take your property here. To me, that's scary.
But you were telling me that because you said, we're only 1% of the market here. They're buying and selling. They're transacting on the market here. Americans make up a small piece of that. Don't think that Americans are doing most of the buying and selling in Medellin, because that's not happening. And with that piece of knowledge, taking that into account, you wouldn't want to buy a house that's over $250,000, because most Colombians will not be able to afford it.
That's the biggest part right there. It's like you can't go saying where it's normal in Ohio for somebody to spend $500 or $600, and even still, that's still difficult. It's like
that's what American salaries and American
even with American
standards.
salary, it drops down considerably once your house is over $500,000.
The amount of people that can afford your house,
it drops down considerably. Now think about that. You're in Colombia; they're still developing. You go to pay $500,000 for a property. It's like there are people who have bought properties here for $500,000, and they've been on the market for 2 years.
Right. Sitting, because there's not enough people here that make that type of money to pay for that type of property.
You're gonna lose.
So what he was saying is, keep any property purchase, apartment especially, under like at least $300,000, because when you go to sell it, you are pretty much pricing out a majority of the market, the local market here. And so just guys, think about that. Honestly, if you're someone that's looking at spending a $500,000 on a luxury apartment here, seriously think about that, guys.
It's all nice to look good, but there's that long-term effect.
Exactly. And while you might have the cash to sink into it today, it kind of sucks when you go to sell your apartment or your property and you find out that it's worth a lot less.
Yeah, and that happens a lot here too, because the whole thing is, one of the things you have to worry about here in Colombia, even when you do buy an existing property, is that money laundering. That's the biggest thing that most people run into here. They buy homes, and then that means they didn't have a good tax history on that. Even when you go to buy the house, that cash has to come in a certain way, because it
has to be declared a certain way.
I cannot send the money that I'm going to pay for my house, that I'm going to pay for cash. I can't send it to my personal account here. I have to send it to the other third party here, a mortgage deal. It's kind of like an escrow, and then the government records that. It's so much stuff you have to go through. You can buy houses quick here, but you still got to make sure they're done the right way. The taxes is the biggest thing, and that's the biggest thing right there. The taxes. Because if they didn't have a clean tax or a clean title or whatever or history, it's like all that stuff has to be paid by the seller before they even give you the house. Because the more that house is messed up in paperwork, the longer it's going to take you
for accountant to go through the whole thing
to actually get that house. So even though you might have the cash, like say the house I showed you that I'm looking at, even though I have the cash for it, it doesn't matter, because I gotta wait to see, is this house title clear? Is everything done? It should take maybe 2 months, but it could take up to a year if they don't have all the paperwork right, because all that stuff has to get taken care of, and that's even before you put a bid on it. Because you can't just put a bid and say, oh, we're gonna fix it. No, you literally, that all has to be fixed first.
Do your due diligence on all that, the taxes on the house. Get you a really good lawyer here.
Two actually. I'm actually hiring two.
One to check the other one, right?
Because I'm actually having a lawyer from Medellin. And then I'm gonna have a lawyer up there in Santa Marta. Santa Marta. So they'll be talking to each other, making sure, because that lawyer up there has to do the title search. It's a real estate lawyer. That's their sole purpose, to make sure everything is going. And so you got to have another real estate lawyer here that take it through their system. That goes into whatever the Colombian registry. So they're going to check all those things. It doesn't just go into that 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 or whatever place you're at. It goes into the whole system that they have to make sure. Because once you get that deed to the house, that's your deed. Then here's another thing. When you get that deed, I will behoove you to DHL that to your bank in the United States. And only when you get ready to sell your house, you get that to send back over here. You don't want to
tell them to put in a safety deposit box in the United States. That's a good idea.
Well, you don't want nobody messing with your stuff, man. It's just another thing.
Secured and locked away, man. Make it and also make it harder for you to do anything with it. So you have to think about it more. So no, that's an excellent point.
Protect you and protect yourself from you.
Yeah, man, for sure. Because man, people do some stupid stuff in Colombia, and you might get into a situation where you're down on your luck and you might want to get rid of your house. Nah, man, you have to think about it. You have to go get it from the States and everything. So
that's the reason why I say this. To me, it's a risk anyway of buying down here, because they don't have MLS like we do. If you look up a house, you can see it in any state. You know the history of that house right away. You go look at the county records,
all the sales,
all the tax history. They don't have that here. So you have to have a lawyer go and ask for all these things, like how much did the owner pay? Am I getting fair market value? We need the
paperwork.
Also, if you buy land here or you buy a house, pay that $300 or $400 from an independent person to come out and appraise that house. They do this. Most people don't get their homes appraised here. The only reason why most people don't get their homes appraised here as foreigners,
because the tax goes up.
No, it's because the bank requires it. If you're a Colombian, the bank requires that it get appraised. But my thing is, if you want to pay fair market value, get it appraised.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think a lot of people don't want to appraise it and get the new value with the new tax bill attached to that.
I'd rather know what it is than.
I mean, I agree, but some people here tend not to want to update the value of their homes for that reason.
I would say like this. I would say like this. That would be very true if that was an older home that was built in like 2011. Okay, and they never had that appraised, or you don't know the last time that was appraised. It shouldn't be that much difference if that house was built in the last 4 years. It shouldn't be that much difference.
Right.
So I would go ahead and do that. If it's a new, like if you're going into,
if you get a new build, you don't have to worry about any of this, by the way. Sometimes it's just easier to go buy something brand new for that reason.
Like buying a house in the DR is less expensive. They have less land, and honestly, I think better quality because most of their homes are about a C.
Right.
So it has to be a certain material so it can withstand that salt water.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, whereas here in Colombia, it's kind of like the owners set the price along with the realtor. Also, here's another thing: do not come down here thinking that because you meet with a realtor and they start showing you properties that they are for you. They are not. They are, when they show you properties, they are automatically representing the seller.
The sellers, more so
It
than you.
is a seller. That's why you have to do your due diligence and ask for all these different things, appraisals. I would rather know than to find out later, because if you don't do it and just say the seller decide to do it, you don't need somebody raising the price on you in the middle of a deal.
Yeah. Facts.
So you got to do your own due diligence.
And it's a lot that goes into buying a place here. If you reach out to me, I can put you in contact with some really good lawyers and things like that. It's something that, I think a lot of us dream of doing, and it can be done. It's just you got to be cautious and be careful.
You got to do your due diligence and ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, just like with the women here, guys. Everyone knows that the beauty is undeniable here with the Colombian women, and we both expressed our love and appreciation for Afro or dark-skinned women, or not even just dark, but any type of color women. They have that here. They have that here.
Every flavor you want.
In crazy quantities. Why does Colombia get overlooked for the Afro-Colombian beauty that is here? I mean, it's astonishing to me, some of the women that get overlooked here. And it's just that no one ever really talks about it, at least not until recently. I've seen more Afro pride going on now, but for a long time it wasn't there. But the beauty was.
Well, the whole thing is, I mean, like I said, I have an Afro-Colombian right now that I'm really cool with, and really beautiful girl. But like you said, they come in different shades. So, I mean, she's more on the lighter side. But, I mean, the dark ones look just as good, too. I mean, I have not been disappointed here in the beauty of the women. But like I said, you still got to go through. You got to have standards when you come to Colombia. You can't come to Colombia and just freewheel it. So if you don't have standards, then you're going to just fall on your face.
Yeah.
You got to have standards when it comes to women. You got standards when it comes to your job.
So stand for something or fall for anything.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to stand for something or you will fall for anything out here, man.
Because I'm telling you, a lot of these guys that I see getting scopolamine, and I see bad things happening.
That's the worst case scenario.
I'm like, these are like, I'm getting like the ugliest women.
Yo, yeah.
In the world. I saw maybe one pretty girl.
Right. No, you're right about that. Only the dirtiest, ugliest, scammiest bitches will scopolamine you guys. I mean, once you guys learn that, you'll be able to avoid that with a 99% chance avoidance rate, bro. Like that's a fact. Only the worst of the worst do that. But like I would say, I don't know, man. Out here, I find that when you go after sophisticated women, that's for me. That's the best way for me to describe the type of women I like. Is just sophisticated. Like they look like they think for themselves. They look like they dress elegantly, or not leading with just their body and everything, but still beautiful.
Well, I will give some guys some suggestions. You can't come over here with your hair not right. You can't come over here wearing shorts and flip-flops. You're not getting the best women that way. The Colombian woman the good Colombian woman is a high-class woman. And it's like they don't go to the store in pajamas. I've literally seen the girl I was dating get up and put on full makeup just to go to the corner store.
Right.
I mean,
I see that a lot too.
it's
Yeah,
like,
they don't
she
step out
looks good.
halfway done.
It's like the only time you see people wearing shorts here are on Sunday for sports day and they're walking, or they're coming from the gym.
Right.
Other than that, it's like if you want success, you need to blend in.
Just
one
for
of the things
success.
I learned from the military. Blend in with your environment. Be conscious of your surroundings. It's like I can go we could probably do another podcast on just physical security.
Absolutely.
Which I think we will.
Yeah.
That's a whole other deal where I can give guys.
Yeah, all your tips, man. This dude knows some shit.
I'm telling you, it's like, you know, when I see people doing things and it's just like, I'm in 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐿 and I'm in the cab, I'm talking to the cab driver and he's like, look, there go one of your 𝐦𝐨𝐤 friends right there. I mean, you guys get pointed out so easy because, and it's like, when they can point you out, you're automatically a target.
Yeah, for sure.
Start watching. So it's like, but you know, I get it. You guys stay in Envigado, you guys stay in Sabaneta, or you guys stay in Laureles or Poblado. But the thing is, you got to understand something. The criminals go where the money is at.
Right. And what's so bad about, you know, throwing on a button up or a polo and some jeans? You know, I think it makes sense out here, especially with the sun. I like the way they dress here, you know, and I like dressing more like a Colombian and trying to blend in, as opposed to just going after comfort. The traditional American way of doing things is just, who cares what I look like? I got my flip-flops and my shorts and I'm comfortable. But no, out here, people are judging you all the time based on how you look. I think that's the important takeaway there, is that looks, if you look like a bum here, they're going to assume you're a bum here. Like, or if you look like a gringo here that doesn't care about, you know, fitting in, then they're going to treat you as such.
Right. And they will. I'm going to be honest with you. Quick story. Before I learned Spanish, and why it's important, when Kari had suggested that I learn Spanish, I got treated totally different when I didn't speak Spanish. It's like, even when I went for medical help and I had to go to the doctor, it's like they pretty much almost ignored me, man. And it wasn't on purpose. It's the fact that they really don't speak any English. And here I am trying to speak to them. But as soon as I started speaking Spanish, man, the floodgates just opened up. It was a whole new different world. And it's just like, a little bit goes, when they say a little bit goes a long way, that's how Colombia is. A little bit goes a long way. Learn more than just how to say, what's your name? My name is. Learn how to ask them out.
Learn how to be funny. Learn how to make a joke. Like,
learn how. It's like this. You know, I say things to them, you know, all the time, and they just love it. And they're like, "Oh, you're sweet. I can't believe that you don't have a full-time girlfriend." And it's not that. It's just the fact that the way I carry myself, and I'm always respectful. I'm always proud, but I don't act like I'm better than them.
Right.
That's the thing. And they also, when you get accepted, they give you a lot of the do's and don'ts that are like, I'm telling you, it's go.
Yeah.
They tell you they don't go here. Like, it's just like
protect
New
you.
York.
Look out.
It's like New York. You could be in Manhattan, but then you go like 2 blocks over, and you're in a bad part of Manhattan.
Right.
And people don't think there's a bad part of Manhattan,
Yeah.
but it is.
It is, bro.
So it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
You want to know the law and the lay of the land, and it doesn't hurt to do a little bit of research. I mean, like I said, I was learning Spanish like 5-10 minutes a day, listening to things, looking at TV in Spanish, and then having the subtitles in English, and then just repeating those words, pronunciation. You know, a lot of people call Medellin, and it's, you know, that's what I did at first, you know, and then that's like, oh yeah, gringo.
Yeah.
They
Those
that out
little
real
things,
quick.
man, you guys make it so easy. But yeah, it takes time. But I think, guys, if you can, try to work on yourself when you come out here. Learning Spanish is a big part of that. Getting in the gym, just trying to become a better person, and representing America well while you're overseas is also important, right?
Oh, exactly. Because right now they don't have a strong, good opinion about America.
Yeah.
You know, they just think that when Americans come to Medellin, they think they're here for two things only: sex and drugs. That's it. And so
And a lot of guys are proven that to be true, unfortunately. Like,
You know?
seriously, like, so that's why I say that a lot in my videos, like, guys, like, do better, because actually, this is actually the reality of what they think of us. And I'm personally tired of it, because that's not who I am. And that's not who you are.
No. And guys, there are 20 million adult women in Colombia. I mean, 20 million adult women, okay? And out of that 20 million, there's only 2% that I guess they said it was like 500,000 that was probably registered and non-registered, sex workers and stuff. 500,000. That's 500,000, with a lot of that being in Medellin.
Yeah.
Of course. So, guys,
it's a small amount.
It is a really small amount. So if you
it should be easy to avoid that. Is what you're trying to say?
If you honestly, it's like you're not going to go looking for that in Germany. Okay, it seems like that's a Philippine, that's a Thailand and Medellin thing.
Yeah,
it's like, and Cartagena, but that's not a normal thing in a lot of other.
You know what I will say? They do it in most countries outside the U.S., but they protect the image. Like, my buddy just went to Japan. They have it in Japan.
Yep.
But they will not let you film that shit.
And they have it in Germany. But guess what? You have to go to a brothel.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah, they're gonna lock everything down.
Strip club or brothel. There are no streetwalkers like how it is.
And see, what I've said for a long time about Colombia, how they could fix 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤 today. They could fix 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤 today. Here's the secret key. Get all those females off the street and put them in clubs, so that you don't have just the women that look from the street of just women on the street, because it looks bad. And they have the same thing in Brazil, in São Paulo, but the women are not on the street. The women only can work from a nice club, a nice bar, you know what I'm saying? Something elegant where it's a nice spot.
Well, I am going to give you a future of what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
So, with that, just so you guys know, prostitution is legal in Colombia, but it's only legal in 2 places. Okay, that's your brothel and that's your strip club. They turn a blind eye to the streetwalkers, but let's just say if enough stuff starts happening, when they arrest those girls, they can actually arrest us as Americans too, because that's actually illegal. Actually, when you guys talk to these girls on the street here in Colombia, that's illegal.
It's like going through an unregistered means of securing.
Because all those girls in the strip club and the brothels had to get checked out medically
paperwork
once every 6 months
and pay taxes.
Pay taxes just like everybody else. So it's just like it's not what you say.
It's a not black market. It's a gray market.
Yeah, it's a gray market. So you guys got to think, when you're in Colombia, you don't know when that switch is going to happen, or if a police just decides they want to arrest you.
They use the law today.
They use the law to their advantage, which they can.
Yeah.
So I would really think twice before hitting up these girls on the street. I think that's just not a good thing. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, look up the law yourself. Look up the percentages yourself, and you'll see. I mean, it's like, don't go to a place where the justice system is you're already guilty before proven innocent.
Yeah, you want to see the real paperwork, and not just listen to us on YouTube, right? You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? But from I've never heard of that, but I'm gonna look into it after this. But if that's true, man, a lot of you guys are committing illegal acts. But I'm not gonna get into that. That's not what this is about. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about that. And I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. I really thank you for coming on the channel.
Man, always a pleasure.
You're an excellent guest, man. You have a lot of charisma and nice things to say, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, can't wait to talk about the physical security. That's gonna be fun too.
For sure.
How to deal with these things if you should go into that realm of gray area.
For sure. Well, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Kari 𝐥𝐤𝐞. When Willie gets his podcast up, I'm gonna definitely get that. Cheryl will probably do a collab or something. So
definitely.
Should be seeing more of my man here. So, all right, guys, we'll catch y'all later. Peace out.
Peace.
I want to show you the beautiful addition that 𝐦𝐸𝐸, a restaurant that I focused on and did a feature piece on over a year ago. They have grown and expanded. So 𝐦𝐸𝐸 is now, they have a secondary area to their restaurant. It's a Jamaican restaurant here in Lorella's neighborhood, and you can see now they have memorabilia that you can buy, different mugs and cups, shirts and things. They have a second bar here upstairs, and they have this second eating area, guys. So if you are familiar, you might remember that initially the restaurant was just this part down here. So that's the original restaurant, the first floor down there. So guys, I just want you to know that they're having a lot of cool events here, game nights, sporting events and everything, now that they have expanded the restaurant. So y'all come support my girl, 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤, and her restaurant, 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞, and try some delicious Jamaican food.